Hi everyone, it's Burgess, and today I wanted to show you a sketchbook that I have. I wanted to start off with that. It's by a company called Mead, and it's from their Academy range, and it's a sketch diary. I don't know what kind of paper it has, but it says it's heavyweight, and I bought this a very, very long time ago. And in fact, it was, I think, more than 20 years ago, and I never really touched it. It was sitting in my cupboard for a very, very long time. And then I thought that why not use the sketchbook to sort of sketch out ideas for future YouTube videos. So just to show you a couple of things in the beginning that I've been doing. Now this one is a charcoal sketch that I did, and I'm planning on turning it into a YouTube tutorial video for painting trees, and this is going to be a lake. I've also, now this one I've already done, and I'll put the link to that in the description below, and it'll come up here at some point. The video has already been published. Same with this one. And again, these are some of these are based on photographs that I saw and I've had permission to use. Others I've seen and I've sort of tweaked a little bit, or quite a bit in some cases, just to make sure I'm not infringing any copyright. This one is again from a photograph on Pixabay, and I will turn that into a video at some point. I just haven't gotten around to doing this one because it looks rather complicated. And this one I've already done, and again I'll put a link up here to that one. And this was just some sketches I was doing in a food court, forget that. This one again is already been done. This one was a tutorial video I did, and that was published on Sunday, last Sunday. And today I want to do this one actually. It's again made up, so I don't really know if it's in perspective or not, but I thought, just make things up and see how they turn out. And this is meant to be a road with a sort of a hill and things, and these are distant trees. So without further ado, let's get cracking with the painting. Thank you. So let's just start off with a quick drawing, and we're going to put the road starting around here. So let's just let that mountain or whatever hill go up that way, and we're going to put a little mountain coming along here and going around there, and sort of all the way up here like this. We could actually make it a little more steeper like that. It doesn't matter about that, we can rub it out or leave it, it doesn't really matter. And we'll have the road sort of coming out that way, all the way here and there. We could do it like that, here like that. And that's the only drawing I'm going to actually do, and that is it. And we could rub this out. Actually, let's rub it out. Yeah, so let's just, I'm finishing off rubbing out here and a bit here, just to clean it up a bit. Not that really, it doesn't really matter because you're only going to end up painting over it anyway. So now what I'm going to do is take some water. I'm going to wet down the sky, sweat it all the way here, and then we take some ultramarine blue and just sweep it in like that. We can leave some of the white because it looks like sort of cloud patterns, and then we can wipe off and then take some Payne's grey and we can sweep those in as well. Again, very, very lightly. We don't want to overpower it. We can put a bit more on the top, just along up here. Have some coming along there. There's a bit of hair. Leave it there. Leave that hair there. And what we're going to do is leave that. That's all we're going to do with the sky. Let's wash out the brush. We shouldn't really wash out the hate brush, but let's do it anyway. And now I'm going to let that sky dry. And that hair, if you get a hair on your wash, don't move it until it's dry. Otherwise you're going to mess around with it. I mean, all paint brushes shed, so we're not worried about this one doing it, but it's not doing it as much as the Montmartre one did. So let's leave that. Now what I want to do is very quickly mark out the road. So I'm going to take some of that raw umber and just put that in, sweep it in there like that. And that's all we're going to do with it for the moment. We can add a bit more, just what I want to do is put some layers down of various things. So I'm going to take out some deep green, which is the equivalent of which is actually hooker's green. We got that as well. We'll take that out. And what I want to do is have a card ready, a card. So I'm going to do some scraping before we tackle whatever's up here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put yellow ochre down first, just a teensy weensy bit of yellow ochre, and just want to make sure it's not overpowering. Do that along there as well. Just to sort of tint the paper. Now you'll notice that the yellow ochre looks a lot like the raw umber, but they're not. I promise you they're two different things. Bring the hairs back together. Just bring it along there like that. Now I don't mind it going over that because that's going to be covered up. And now what I'm going to do is put down, let's take out some burnt sienna as well. Sorry, I forgot to put the camera on. You can actually put more yellow, more of the mixture of ultramarine blue, burnt sienna and deep green. And if you feel that it's too dark, you can take another brush. Let's use the Montmartre brush. It's got to be useful for something. And we can just take out a bit of extra, just colour there, colour here and there, and we can take a card and use a side. And too much there. Let's go back in. That's not right. I don't like. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Just make it look like it's some rocks and things along this way. Little tiny rocks. Little tiny ones in the distance there. Like that. Now this side I'm going to leave, and we're going to do the same with the other side. And again, let's just take a deep breath and just put them in. I want it to look like there's more texture along this one. It's going to be a scraggly mound here. And this is all made up, so to be honest with you, I'm not really sure whether it looks right or not. Some more deep green and a bit more burnt sienna, and yeah, that's good. And just add a little more darker accents here, and maybe a few along there in the top here. Finger painting, more finger painting. And burnt sienna to the front here. And now we're going to take our card again. And we're just going to scrape out a few rocks here and there like that. Yeah, I'm going crazy with the rocks. I love them. It's fun. Okay, and now that's done. We're going to work a little bit more on this later, but now what I want to do is I'm going to wash the paintbrush out and take a sort of a watery wash of burnt sienna and just put a suggestion of trees in the distance here like that. And now the sky that is dry now, so we can actually do that. And we can make it go off in the distance here. Just add a bit of Payne's grey to it. Just give a little something to it. Yeah. And then we take our card again and we just scrape out suggestion of something along there. And now we're going to take our rigger. I'm going to paint in some trees, and for this I'm going to use burnt umber or burnt sienna. You can use burnt sienna as well. I might use a mixture of both, burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Let's make it sort of quite dark. And what I want to do is we're going to put a tree along here and put a few suggestions in the distance. Not in the distance, sort of they're not in the distance, they're sort of behind some other trees. We can put one here as well, although it's going to be covered up, but I want it to look like there's something there. Again, this is all made up, so I don't know whether it looks convincing or not. Use the side of the rigger to create stitches to suggest sort of distant sort of foliage like that, and we can have it sort of coming along here as well. I'm not sure whether it's convincing at all, but it's worth a try. Rough outline. So now what I'm going to do is that there are two, I'm going to add a couple of trees, one coming out this way and one sort of going up that way. So we take a stronger mix of this color, and this one I want sort of going off to the side, but I want it a bit stronger, so it coming out in front of those and pushing those back. Make this larger. That hair caused a bit of a streak there, which is rather annoying. And I want that sort of coming out like this, here, like this. I want it going off a little bit because I want to put a bit of foliage on them. Just a suggestion of some greenery. And there's a sort of a one going off on the side here. I made it darker. There you are, I've covered it up. It was getting a little bit silly sitting there like that. Now I've added a little bit of Payne's grey to it as well. I don't know whether this looks silly because it's all made up. I don't know whether it's convincing enough. What I'm going to do is, with the paintbrush, just make a sort of a greeny sort of burnt sienna-y colour, and just to put a suggestion of leaves on that. And darken it up with a bit of Payne's grey, just a few places here and there. And now there's on my picture there's a huge tree coming off from here, going all the way up there. So I'm going to try and put that in. So I'm going to make a really dark mixture of, let's use Payne's Grey and Burnt Umber. Can I burn blue to it as well, actually? Let's add all the colours to it. And now what I'm going to do is put the tree all the way here like that. What I'm going to do is just one branch come off here like this. Just give it a bit of a wiggly movement. Take the card, do some scraping on the side here. And along there. And then take our... Okay folks, I'm quite annoyed with myself because I've had a bit of a glitch with the camera. It stopped recording at 21 minutes and it didn't record me putting in the extra branches of these trees, which I did in the same way as I did in my previous video, and the little branches coming off here. It didn't record any of that, nor did it record me putting in the lamppost, these little posts here, which I did using the Hake brush with this motion going in like that. This is what I did. I did it like that, and I can demonstrate it again, sort of. So I put it in like this, like this. It just didn't record it, and I'm quite upset about that actually. And it put it in like this. It didn't do the recording, and that really has upset me. It didn't also record me adding some texture to the path here, and I did that by using the Montmartre Hake. And what I did was I added some color to it and just did this motion here like that, just to add a bit of texture to the road, to the path here like this. And then I took my rigger again and put a bit of some shadow work in by taking some whatever colors I had in my palette, some dark colors, shadow colors really. And what I did with those was I added some shadows going off on the tree this way here. Let's do it again for you. And the lamppost here, add a bit more water to that. Like this, like that. This one is like this. And like this here, like that. And then I took some darker color and added it to the borders here. You can add some more actually. You can do that. And while we're here, we can still sort of do some flicky motions upwards like this. That. And just to demonstrate how I painted those branches in the trees, what I will do is do a few more for you on camera so that you understand what I actually did. And what I did was I took my rigger and let's put another branch sort of coming off along this way, going up maybe this way. And what I did was I just took the color in, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle in this, and then wiggle, wiggle off the little branches here like this, like that. That's how I basically did it. And you know, while we're here, I think it might be an idea to take a bit of tissue and and white and white and white. And we're just doing it along the bottom here, just along the bottom like that. And we could do it along, along here. Right along here. Just to give it a bit of shadow here. Just a bit of lifting. And we're going to use the rigger because we've got it in front of us. Again, I don't know whether this is the correct approach, because I don't know, because I don't have a reference picture, as I said before. I can tidy this up a bit here. And then I finally went in and added some birds. I'll add one more bird in for you, just to show you how I did it. I'm doing all this again for benefit of you. So just take that, and what we can do is just add maybe another bird here like this. Yeah, like that. So yeah, here we are, the rescue mission with the re-recording of things to demonstrate how I did things in the first place, because the camera just stopped at some point. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Click on the other videos to see how I did certain of the other elements in other pictures, and do consider subscribing, and leave a comment as well to let me know what you think of this painting and what you think of the scenery that I just made up. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.